Hi everyone, welcome to Living Bliss TV. I'm David and here we are today at Bodhi Festival, downtown Newcastle, where 3 floors of the David Jones building has been turned into a spiritual playground. Come check it out.
Just so that we can laugh together, play music together, hang out together, and have an event that is inclusive and calls to the spirit of the public, both those who are long-term spiritual aspirants and people who are just a bit curious, you know, they've never seen anything like this and they would just like to know what's it all about. And so I'm hoping that many people will find a starting place at Bodhi Festival and a way that they can feel into what feels good for them, get a bit more information, perhaps later on they can go along to a seminar or an event that some organisation that's here is holding, and that they will set their feet on a path that will transform their lives and create within them the bliss and happiness that is within so many of us now after all our years of travelling.
Beautiful.
You're the band, and, well, or you're the lead singer, and we're your backup band, however you want to look at it. But what's really beautiful is that when people start breathing together, we become a kind of a flock of birds or a school of fish moving with one intelligence. It's really extraordinary to see where it goes. I can't control it. And that's one of the beautiful things. So Kirtan is ultimately about surrender. Ganesh is the elephant-headed god, and if you've ever ridden an elephant, you would understand that you must surrender to that. So we'll offer this up to the giant pachyderm that we are. And we sing in a call and response fashion. It goes like this. Ganapati Om Jaya Ganapati Om.
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 The amount of work that each of us have had to do personally and spiritually has been incredible, because the festival, I mean, to bring this much light and love onto the earth, it's a big thing, and we all carry a lot of energy, all of us. We've done a lot of work over many, many years, and we can anchor a lot, but there's a lot of resistance to it. And so it's been like jumping into the abyss almost daily.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, Shakti Durga made the big call to not have the festival in Glenworth Valley, but to actually have it here in Newcastle. And everybody went, you can't do that, people have to be outside, they have to be, and it was really interesting. She said, no, I feel Newcastle is going to be a spiritual centre throughout the world, like people will know of it. So that was the first abyss, you know, and then to offer this festival by donation. You know, and we sat there one day in her temple in Sydney and we all went, wow, what are we going to do? And she said, look, I'm going to have to swallow hard, because I'm going to suggest something quite huge. And she said, I believe that we should run this festival in exactly the same way as we run everything at Chantilly, and that's by donation. And the energy that came into the room, I burst into tears. I'm a bit of a crier, but I burst into tears, just spontaneously burst into tears. Everybody else, we felt this rush of energy through us. And since then, even though things go wrong, we just all manage it. But since then, the festival flowered. Since then, the festival, everybody just went, yes. And it was what was meant to happen. And we sort of didn't know that. We thought we'd just be like every other festival first, but we're not like every festival. But there are many, many ways these days to get help to actually learn how to unblock your heart, how to release the sadness or the grief or the anger or the resentment that you're holding in your body that stops you loving more. Because everything is actually about joy and love and peace. You know, it's about happiness. And we can't stay in that state continually. We just can't. But it's how we deal with what comes to us in our life. It's how we manage the really big challenges. It's how we manage our own personal anger or our control issues.
What does living bliss mean to you?
Living bliss, you know, when I'm really in it, I can go throughout my entire life with all the little things that go on top. You know, the traffic lights turn red, you can't get a parking spot, all that kind of stuff. But underneath is this just exquisite sense of peace and rightness about everything. And I might momentarily move out of it, but it just goes straight back. And it means that no longer do I have a bed of anxiety or stress in my life. I have no fear of anything in my life, which is extraordinary. Because I mean, I lived with fear for many years, but having done the work that I've done with Shakti Durga and all the way through now, I'm not fear. And so that's bliss. Living without fear is bliss.
Give it to me, mommy, and the police have been taken away. Gotta give it to mommy, and the police have been taken away. Have you heard this news? Radio, stereo. Have you heard this news?
My name is Afro. I come from Ghana, West Africa, and my music is from root to everything. So I don't even classify my music. I feel as like we're all here for one purpose. Different branches, one roots. Yeah. And one thing I learned about life is we all have to respect each other. Whatever belief you have, just respect. And you can change the person, appreciate instead of hate.
Beautiful.
Yes, ma'am. Me mommy, family crying, cause my brother had been shot on the street with I am the only son left to comfort me, mommy. But I am a refugee. Me no become my home, my sweet world. Oh, my home.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about the Peace Angels?
Yes, the Peace Angels are a transformational performance group who get dressed up as angels. But not only do we get dressed up as angels, but we actually embody angels and we embody peace in our lives. So part of the Peace Angels started about 12 months ago, and we started with this event called Walking Light, which we have a beautiful book here, which describes what Walking Light is. And part of the process for that was that we had to learn how to embody peace in our own lives, even in the most difficult of circumstances. So for a lot of people, when they're not trained as performers, getting up in front of an audience and having to perform in a way is a very unpeaceful thing. So that was a really big challenge for people last year. And we've sort of moved on from that now, and we're now in this year of 2012, we're starting to learn to embody our angelic selves.
Wow.
So learning to bring in the angelic nature and live that through here on earth. So it's pretty exciting stuff.
That sounds awesome. So when you do this, you walk around the streets, is that right?
That's right, yeah.
All dressed as angels?
That's correct.
All
yep.
lit up?
That's right, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, so the piece last year was called Walking Light, and it was done at night time, and all of the costumes were lit. So it was just magnificent, you know, to see the angels walking through the streets of Sydney and blessing the area and bringing the good vibrational energy out of the ground.
The consideration that you could actually adopt a mantra is realistic now. It wasn't a few years ago. The only way you'd get a mantra is if your guru gave you one. That's the only way. Those times are gone. We all have access to these amazing sound formulas, and sometimes it's easy to forget they're there or to take them for granted. And if the power is in the repetition. There's power in the heart also when we sing together, but the power in the repetition is something else. And we just want you to consider that, you know. There's a mantra, there's mantras for removing energy blocks, there's mantras for sacred lovemaking, there's mantras for so many of our, you know, just our things that we go through in life. There's mantras for physical healing. And you know, what would it be like to chant a mantra 108 times every day for like 21 days? It's literally 10 minutes out of our day, you know, to see what happens. And you know, it's something we've been wanting to share. That's why we did mantras for precarious times.